District number 60 Board of Directors regular monthly meeting. Today is Tuesday, November 18th. We'll begin with a roll call. Director Bill Friebel.
Here.
Director Bob Lux is here. Director Donna McAleer
Here.
is here. Director Paul Shue.
Here.
Director Dale Walker.
Here.
Very good. We have a quorum. We will begin with our invocation and pledges of allegiance. Heavenly Father, we come to you today as an assembled body. We humbly request that you bless our meeting, our community, and our nation. Help us to work diligently, always for the common good and in the best interest of those who we have been elected to represent. Guide us to be insightful and prudent in our intentions, visions, plans, deliberations, decisions, and their fulfillment. Work through us to provide a spirit of welcome to all in attendance, to engage in respectful and thoughtful dialogue and discussion with understanding, wisdom, and humility. Amen. If you wish, prior to reciting the pledges of allegiance, take a moment of silent prayer or additional reflection in the manner of your preference. Thank you. Pledge of allegiance to the United States flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pledge to the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
We had Mr. Mulberry, who I spoke with, so we have no other. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Deputy General Manager Wright isn't here. Do we have any requests for adjustments? General Manager Peterson? Okay, very good. He doesn't have any either. Okay, we are now to the consent agenda. Agenda's items 5 through 9, which will take us to the past page 13 for sure. Starting all over again, huh, Jeannie?
Yes, sir.
Like the Golden Gate Bridge, right? Painting the Golden Gate Bridge. Anybody have any questions or? Accept the motion to approve.
To approve the consent.
We have a motion and a second. Did you get both of those? Dr. Friedel and Dr. Macklin? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain, motion passes. Thank you. Okay, agenda item 10, receive the regular monthly SJRA Woodlands Division report. We have a pinch hitter today,
Good afternoon.
fresh off the bench.
Yes, sir. So if you look in your packet on page 14, it's the operation report for the Woodlands Division. I'm happy to answer any questions on it. It's been a pretty routine month. So
I think it's covered later in our packet, but there's supposedly you're looking into the unexplained water loss in September.
yes, ma'am. Working with the Woodlands.
So you don't have an answer yet.
No, ma'am. No, we do not.
That's a big jump.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
I was gonna
Yeah, we did find a reporting issue from the new software, so we've accounted for a chunk of that.
So part of it could be a reporting issue with the software. Okay, fire the programmer. Yes.
And when you have a contractor issue, like a boring contractor hitting a line, right? Do you generally get full reimbursement?
I'm not 100% sure on that. That'd be a question for Chris, but it just depends, I guess, on the contractor and if they actually stuck around, because there's been times where they've hit lines and they pull their equipment, and get out of there as quick as they can.
So they didn't report it.
I don't know. This one was pretty quick
Yeah.
turnaround, so they may have been there, found the guys and got company information and everything, but I was actually on vacation when that happened.
Thank you.
Okay. So they do know who this contractor was. Other than that, there's project updates that we put in the report, starting on page 24. That we'll have this in twice a year on these project updates.
We have a question on page 16 on wastewater treatment facility number 1. It says permit expires May 2007.
Just a typo.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's a typo. Yes.
Yeah, I have a quick question. On page 15, and it talks about your flush on the wells, number 17, number 18. Do you go in, do they pick up sediment over time? Is that what you do?
So the flush on these wells was because we had to do a repair on that line, the
Right.
collection line. And so once the repair was done, they
You
had
gotta
to,
get good water in there.
yes, had to just super chlorinate it to disinfect it and then
Okay.
flush all that out and get back these samples full.
Thank-
I
whoops,
think
pardon
there
me.
was, I'm trying to remember the page where they're projecting that in, maybe it's this one. They're projecting in 2026, we're no longer, there it is at the top of 15. That groundwater blend is now going to be 55% instead of 50-50. Was there, I guess they're going back to more fresh water.
Currently with the amount that the GRP can, or we're allowed to produce, that for the daily average, that I think the Woodlands allotment is just being adjusted slightly because of other users coming on. But other than that, Chris would have more information on that. Like I said, he was unavailable to it right now.
So the users will be taking more surface water, is what you're saying. So. yeah, that's-
Year.
Yeah, it looks like they're projecting it to be 55% for 2026.
55% groundwater.
Groundwater.
That, and that's also fiscal year to date. So that's from September 1 to now. It's actually running at 55% groundwater.
Okay.
So
And they're doing a disinfection byproduct analysis that's gonna allow us to identify what percentage we might want to request in the future.
Mhm. Okay. Let me see if there's some economics in there.
So on your project descriptions,
yes, sir.
16 of them, fantastic. Great format, very informative. And I was curious, I had a note down. How often are you going to do that? Because it seems like every month would be too much. So I
Yes,
was
so
pleased to
twice a
hear
year.
Twice a year is fine. The other comment or question that I have, are all the MUDs participant in all of these projects?
That is a question that I do not have the answer to.
I don't think they are with the dam.
The dam would not be one of
It's
those,
not.
but as far as the wastewater
It would be,
conveyance,
but it's not.
South Shore, Gravity Main, those I would think everyone would be, but that would be a question I'd have to get Chris to give you an answer on.
All of these are. And then the Bear Branch Dam is actually not part of the Woodlands. for water and sewer. They're part of SJRA, so that's a whole separate division than us. And that's why it's always hard
Okay.
to say, oh, we can do that. It's
Thanks.
just, yeah, it's not water and sewer, it's.
So these are R&R projects that everybody participates in. So, okay. Clear. Thanks. The last comment, I guess it's more for Eric, and the team. Would this be something of value to post on the website? These project updates,
They already are
are they?
on the renewal website.
Oh, okay.
A good bit of them. Yeah, we're doing the active projects on there. I met with SJ a few months ago and said that in addition to the normal updates that you get monthly, I'd like to see kind of a more in-depth look. That's why you got these. We agreed to do them about twice a year. So this is the first installment of that. And then we're working with SJA to reformat how we're putting the project summary sheets on the water renewal website. So a lot of these are on there already.
Okay, cool. My apologies. I should have known that.
Yeah, I don't, you probably can get do a link on our main website to get to the renewal website, but you need to go to the renewal website, water renewal of Woodlands. And they should be there.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people in the community asking when something happens, what's going on? And we can direct them to that.
Best place to direct them is water renewal of Woodlands. Yep.
Good. Thanks. They're great sheets. Great sheets.
Anybody else? Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that brings us to agenda item 11. General Manager Peterson, receive an update regarding Bear Branch, Panther Branch, and Research Forest Drive Drainage Improvements Project.
Yeah, that's in the hands of the Army Corps of Engineers, so they're reviewing the application and will let us know if they want to proceed in. So no update there.
Okay, I guess you're still up for agenda item 12. Consider an act on pay application number 3 for retail wastewater collection system rehabilitation year 2.
Yes, that is on your agenda. There is a pay estimate number 3. However, there was no work specifically done in Med 60 on the project, so nothing for you to review this one.
We're on a roll. Consider an act on designation or confirming a representative to vote on the Association of Water Board Directors bylaws amendments and elections, pages 64 to 69.
Yeah, so as a member of HOBD, each district has a singular vote to vote on various things. So there usually it's the trustee board,
Election.
and that's usually at one of the conferences where those are handled, where you'd have a vote. I'm not sure that you voted historically in any of those. You may have when you were definitely involved, heavily involved. We have not designated an individual since I think a separate individual for quite a few years. So because this bylaw issue came up, and as you can see through the redlining that AWB provided, it's pretty normal stuff. There's no major things that are changing within the adjustments. They just needed to do some fine tuning to their bylaws. That would be the current item, and then likely there'd be a board election for the trustees in the midwinter conference, I believe.
Does anybody have an interest in serving?
No.
I don't either. Do you, Dale?
No, that's not, thank you.
Bill, I know you and Paul have gone from time to time, or
Yeah, there would not be a time commitment. It would just be the designee to place that vote.
if
If
you have to be on site.
you don't, we learned that there's an option to do it online. I don't know what-
So you can do it online.
I didn't know that.
But there would only be one person for All of WWA or all the muds?
No, each mud.
Each mud.
Yeah, so there was previously 8 of the 10 muds had a specific individual on the board that was their appointee on that. 2 muds have redone this month and appointed me to be their rep on that for their vote. But the other 8, including y'all, had a representative previously that you had identified.
Nothing changed with that? I didn't know, because it used to have to be on site.
Right, at the conference. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that part of the bylaws change that they can vote
Mhm.
online?
Well, if nobody on our board wants to be on it, I think we recommend Eric for our
I
vote.
was thinking, would Kim be I mean, if someone is to go, obviously, I mean, you prefer to go to this one as opposed to
The fall?
the TWCA. I mean, there's more things that really are in our purview and the legal representation that they provide and the lobby effort that they,
Legislative oversight, yeah.
Yeah. yeah. I'm with you, Paul, if you're the appointed one by the board, could you then designate that to Kim if you, for some reason you got tied up and couldn't make it, or?
I'm sure I could. I
You could
don't
do it
know all the
online.
details on that.
If he
Yeah.
doesn't make it, he could still do it
Yeah.
online.
I mean, we're kind of a unique situation just all together. The
Mhm.
Woodlands Muds wouldn't have staff and such on this magnitude, so. Either way. I plan to go to all the conferences, so I'll be there. I don't know that we've tried to have me specifically vote multiple times for multiple entities, but give it a shot.
There's nothing that precludes you, does it? I mean, you don't have to be an elected director. You're a member of the association, right?
Yeah, I don't know if, well, we may need to ask if there's allowance for an appointed proxy, which would be this situation, I guess. But I don't see why there'd be a problem with it, but.
That said, I would nominate General Manager Peterson to be our representative. He'd certainly be open to take direction at all times.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
I,
Opposed, abstained, motion passes.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Matters related to the director's election, May 2nd. Would that be Cullen Richardson?
Yes, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. I'm sure y'all have been through this process before, but we have the director's election coming up to be held on May 2nd. We will have an agenda item to call the election in January. But at this time, there's a requirement to post a notice regarding candidate filing period. You'll see on page 70 of the packet is an example of that. That will be posted at this building at the in-district regular posting location and on the website. You can see on there, it essentially gives you the first day to file for a place on the ballot is January 14th. The last day to file is February 13th. And it gives you some options for submitting your ballots. So all we would need is a motion to authorize SPH to prepare and post that notice on behalf of the board.
I'll make that motion.
From makes a motion,
second.
directed by Director McAleer. Just further discussion on this matter? All in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Opposed, abstained, motion passes. Thank you. You, Colin? Okay, I guess that you're still up for agenda item 15, the attorney's report.
I have nothing further under the attorney's report.
Agenda item 16, the general manager's report. General Manager Peterson.
Thank you. Just a couple things. Did want to report that we were able to get all 10 MUDs to participate in the dam engineering program. So happy to report that. Also, we did hold a dam tour a couple weeks ago. That was pretty well attended. I think folks got pretty good information out of that. So that was helpful. Wanted to point your attention to the general manager's report. We continue to, starting on 72, continue to include quite a bit of information on a lot of the things that we're working on day in, day out. So encourage you to sort through that. You'll see work that is includes stuff not only done in MUD 60, but also in what we're doing around the woodlands.
Director Peterson, I'm just curious, the Ritz Carlton, which is going to be gigantic, how much water resources is that anticipated to demand?
On here.
It's not in our mud, it's MUD 67.
What, 67? Oh, there I see it. It's number 67, condos.
111 units, as I recall. I think it's something like that.
Mhm.
So they're in their condos. They don't have, it's a little interesting because, condos or, apartments don't necessarily have the irrigation side of it. Whereas on the residential side with the yards, it actually is a higher percentage of lost water going out to the, irrigation. So per unit or per capita, it's actually a little lower, believe it or not, but it's 111 units.
Okay.
Added, included in a article there at the end that was in the Chronicle on MUDs. There was also one similar in the Courier this week. And then included in a thank you that we received. I've received quite a few of these. I like to share them when they come in. So probably have a few more that we're gonna have in. But team does a good job.
That's great.
I brought you one too. A very recent one, front page.
Now that's the one that's in the Courier today.
Which
Oh,
one?
it is.
Which one is that?
Yeah, I think you brought it
Same
too.
one.
Front page.
Yep, then there's another one the day after.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Right there, MUD's pass on hidden expenses.
Yeah, that's the.
It's like all of a sudden the Chronicle is pressing down on the MUDs.
This happens about every 5 years. They're on a
Yeah.
cycle.
But I
think.
mean, I can understand one article, but it was one after
Yeah,
another.
that's,
About every 5 to 10
Well,
years.
they're acting, well, it's, the reader would think that most of their property taxes are due to MUDs when it's really the schools. It's not the MUDs. But it would seem like everyone's so shocked about their property taxes, then they talk about MUDs, the whole article.
Yeah, there's a lot of missing facts in these articles.
Well, and Abbott came out and made some comments last week that's generating some of that about special interest districts.
Yeah. and it's-
MUDs are.
MUDs pass on.
Yeah, MUDs pass on hidden expenses in case the camera needs to see that. So,
Yeah, there's not anything we hide. It's all out there.
we found though, having been on the AWBD side of it, there's the one rogue district somewhere.
mhm.
And that's who they can say, oh, yes, but, 99.99 over here, but we have this one that justifies the article. So that's the way it goes. Get used to it. Yeah. That's it, sir. Thank you.
Wanted to pass the communications report to John.
Okay.
Good afternoon, page 85 for your report,
Page which?
85.
So it's time for our yards to sleep, right?
Well, it goes,
At rest, I saw.
We might get rain this week. That's where
it's
water
supposed
falls
to
from
be,
the sky.
supposed to be a week starting on Thursday.
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Big memory. Yeah, but your lawns are going dormant still, so save your money.
Not our flowers, though.
Now, infrastructure renewal communications, you've been hearing about a couple things for a while now that have finally come to fruition here. On the website, we now have that GIS-based interactive map. So you go there, see what's happening in your area, pop up, search by your address, it'll populate that, and got all the different things you can toggle on and off to see what kind of infrastructure is in your area and being worked on and so forth. So check that out. And then the renewal video is finally out as well. I think that turned out pretty well. There's another iteration of that coming where we'll splice in interviews. Eric and 9 other folks were interviewed about renewal. And so there'll be another version of that coming with those interviews. And then we're also working on a couple other videos for Woodlands Water, not renewal specific. We did our shooting last Friday. One of them is Woodlands Water, just telling our story, who we are, putting a face to the agency. And then the other one is From Source to Tap. That is explaining how we get our water. And there'll be some animation to that. It's a bit more instructional for that. So those will be coming out sometime after the first of the year. Water Smart, we've got a threshold to acknowledge and celebrate. We crested 80% recently. All accounts are now registered. Yep. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's 27,000 plus customers.
You know what the percent is in the last 16 by chance?
I can find it for you. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Page 86, more stats. Looking back previous 12 months on Woodlands Water Weekly. We got 16,000 contacts there. That means we sent almost 1.4 million weekly emails last year. And with an open rate of 73%, we had 860,000 reads on those newsletters.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's been a really good tool for us. And it's holding strong. And then on page 88, a couple more stats. This one, looking back to June 1, that's when we hired on our new social media manager, Stephanie Williams. Since that time, we've seen some marked increase in our social media engagement. A couple stats there for you. Facebook, we've seen a 77% increase since June 1 in interactions. LinkedIn, a 500% increase in interactions compared to the previous 5-month period. So lots of room to grow there in social media for sure, but we're heading in the right direction. All right, any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, John. Agenda item 17, receive the Woodlands Water Trustees Report. General Manager Peterson.
Yes, wasn't a whole lot. In the report, I made a report of the GRP update is there in your packet here. And is there anything else? It was a pretty quick meeting.
Pretty quick meeting.
It's there for you on page, where we at?
91.
Any update you can explain on the Woodlands aquifer level graphs? I don't know how to read those. The graphs that provided earlier in the report. It's also mentioned in the trustees meeting. It says that showing the aquifer levels dropping. Is that how I'm reading it? Okay.
They are dropping.
Yeah, but they seem to have stabilized and then drop a little bit.
They stabilized when regulations were in place, and the regulations went away, they started dropping again.
Yeah. Yeah, but where's the graph? I'm lost here, right?
It's a,
Yeah, basically from 2015 to 2020, they kind of stabilized, and now they're,
Yeah.
dropping again.
and so this is 20,
Page 44, 45.
this is 2015, 2020, and ever since, this is when the lawsuits occurred,
Yeah.
and then since then,
Yeah, because if you look at that decline, it looks very much the slope very similar to this actually.
back on.
Yeah, the trend is your friend in a sense. Yeah, but This flattening out was due to the,
Surface water conversion.
was instituted. Okay. It's a little bit steeper up here, but like you said, if you look at that slope, it's pretty similar. I'm sure it's gonna increase with more wells being drilled.
Perhaps, the good news is that we're having some, on the GRP side of things, you know, we're having some movement with additional users that are requesting water. So, you know, now that may be just to meet the growth, because the county is significantly growing, not necessarily here, but
North.
east and north.
Yeah.
And so, but, you know, anytime we can use more surface water, that's at least not groundwater, not coming from the groundwater, you know, overall. But just, I think this time last year, the GRP was, I think, contracted with their users at about 13.2 MGD per day average, annual average. And we're at about 20 at least requested at this point. I don't know if it's fully flowing at 20, but I know we're contracted.
Yeah, varies throughout.
Sure. But the annual average is expected to, with Conroe's request, and some of the other muds that have asked for water, we're expecting that 13.2 last year to go to 20 and probably beyond that. So that's a positive trend. It's all, it's positive.
Very good. That's making for that reduction in rate, right? That elevating the
That's part of it. Sure.
Yeah.
That was a result.
very positive move. Anything else? Very good. Thank you, sir. Mr. Richardson, any need to go to executive session? I didn't think so. All right, that brings us to agenda item 20, discuss matters for placement on future agendas. Do we feel as though we have a need to meet in December?
At this point, we do not. I'm gonna propose that we don't. However, if something comes up, I'll certainly reach out and we can have a meeting, but right now I don't have a need.
Based upon this board, I'm going to be out of the country. I don't know if anybody else is going to be, but we may not be able to.
Is
field
there a
quorum.
trustee meeting though in December that you're?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vote not.
I thought I read somewhere in the packet, there's
You'll
going to
be
be
here
an
for-
update from SJRA. Are they going to do a meeting in
So
December
you could field a
for the
quorum.
wastewater treatment plant?
Good.
Thing, I thought I read somewhere in here. Okay,
I'll update them. Now, what we talked about the SFDUE audit and that we're getting close. We've re-upped with, or we've entered into a contract with a new consultant to help us with GIS that's needed to complete our audit. And once that work is done by our new consultant, we'll be able to get that to SGRA, and then once they have that, they'll be able to get Corona to start the evaluation, finish the evaluation, which will take about 4 months or so
okay.
once they're reinitiated. So I'm hopeful that we can get that information back to SGRA in January, and then after that, then get Corona started after that.
So there's really no need for us to meet then in December?
As he said, unless something arises. So.
As you can see, the agenda is pretty light today, and you know we've really covered some heavy topics the last 3 to 6 months with the dam and the water renewal, water line renewal. So, I think the next bigger item is certainly going to be the wastewater treatment plant.
I would think that based upon what you've said, that if we need a motion, that I would propose a motion that we tentatively not meet, with the exception that if some issue of immediate action is required, that you have the right to call.
I think that's already the case. So, yeah, I don't think you need a motion on that.
Okay.
Because you will.
Would they email us or text us? Because sometimes we don't see our emails for a while, but if something came up,
That we would email you.
okay.
Shelley would send out the notice.
We have to start watching our inbox religiously then.
I try. Try to keep a clean box.
Okay, if there's anybody else have anything for future meetings?
So we meet next January.
Yes, ma'am.
When does a January calendar come out? Is it out
Yeah.
already online for the MUD meetings?
I'm sure it is. It is. Same schedule.
So that would be January 20th.
Third Tuesday.
Third Tuesday.
Is that January 20th?
Is that January? I thought it was the second Tuesday after the first Wednesday.
That's
Some weird
correct.
thing like
It
that.
is after the Board of
Tuesday.
Trustees.
having the second.
I actually can do that.
What? Tuesday?
It's the Tuesday after the
I can
second.
do.
Okay,
Family
I'm
can't.
confused.
Is that January 20th?
I think so. I want to make sure I'm not doing anything.
I have a recurring thing on my calendar. I've learned how to use calendars, some. I'm working on it.
Yeah, there's a couple times a month where those dates don't align. You can't do just third Tuesday.
No, you can't.
There's a couple dates a month. Yeah, doesn't always work.
Good.
Meeting's adjourned.